All right, I'm gonna make a video on. I found this on Google. Daniel's prophecy of the 70 weeks. So now, what I want to do is I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna use Bible Gateway mainly, but I'm gonna read Daniel 9. I'm not gonna read all of it, but so we always talk about the final 7 years to the Battle of Armageddon, and we talk about, Christians talk about the tribulation period, and so I'm gonna pose a question here. And then I'm going to do another video later on the rapture, the timing of the rapture, and and it'd be interesting to see what people think on that. Um, so Daniel's 70th week, okay, 490 years were given, and we know that there's been a pause at the 483 mark when the Messiah was cut off, and when Jesus was crucified, and and let's see here, right here. Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. So it's interesting as you watch Christian movies or you watch a lot of people on YouTube. I don't want to lump everybody into that, but you know, I know he's going to make somewhat of a peace with Palestinians, or they'll be forced. It almost looks like as though they're going to be forced. World government or UN will force Israel into some sort of an agreement with the Palestinians to divide the land, which we know is going to happen according to Zechariah and I think Isaiah, and then they're going to end up getting their their part in the land, which okay. Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. So the point is that we know it's 7 years. Okay, we know that, but how long is the tribulation? That's my question. You know, and obviously most people say it's 7 years. And that's where I want to talk about this first, because before I talk about the rapture, because you think rapture, you think, are you pre-trib, are you post-trib, are you mid-trib, are you pre-wrath? There's so many different viewpoints when it comes to the rapture, the timing of the rapture. So I wanted to read that little part. I want to set this up for that rapture video. So this here, Daniel's 7th week, because it all hinges on this. So then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. So whoever the Antichrist is, will come in and confirm some sort of an agreement or a covenant. Of course, Israel is going to be involved, Palestinians, because there's going to have to be a dividing of the land. You got West Bank and Judea. That's going to be going down like that. So let me show you this here. Matthew 24, and let's go down to what Jesus had to say about that. Watch this, the Great Tribulation. Okay, I didn't mean to highlight that. Okay, therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Interesting, it says that, isn't it? 2,000 years later, and look at all the stuff going on in Israel today with Gaza and West Bank and stuff. It's exactly what Jesus said it was going to be like in the last days. Let him who is on the housetop not go down. Okay, let's just stop right there. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Well, what do we understand from that? So when you jump over to 2 Thessalonians 2, you'll read right here, let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So when does this happen, right? When does this happen? If you look at Matthew, he said right there that he standing in the holy place. 2 Thessalonians, he'll do this is just another description of that. Well, we can prove and we can see that when we look at other verses concerning the timing of that Daniel's 70th week, it's at the midpoint of Daniel's 70th week, right? You got 1,260 days in the first half, 1,260 days in the half. I know there's a 1,290 and the 1,335, but let's just go with the first half and the second half of Daniel's 70th week. That first half, okay, If I'm wrong, please post it in the comments. But I feel from everything I've looked at and studied that first half is very silent. I mean, I obviously we obviously know that the temple will be rebuilt. Let's see here. Let's go there. So we know the temple is going to be rebuilt in that first half, and then at the midpoint is when the Antichrist steps in and says, "Okay, no more animal sacrifices," because they're going to restart, and he's going to put an end to the animal sacrifices. He's going to stand in that rebuilt temple, as Jesus said in Matthew 24, and as Paul said in Second Thessalonians. He'll stand in there and he'll say, basically, hey, I'm your Messiah, I'm your God. You don't need to sacrifice the animals anymore. And then what happens? Jesus says what? That then shall be great tribulation. For then there will be great tribulation. I know people like to distinguish the two and say, oh, tribulation and then great tribulation. Well, show me a verse, and I say that without any sarcasm. Show me a verse, okay, and put it in the comments where the difference between tribulation and great tribulation, because everything that I have looked at when it comes to the tribulation period, it is the final 3.5 years of Daniel's 70th week. The tribulation is never referred to, that I see, as 7 years. Not one time. Not one time in scripture. If you know one, post it in the comments. I'll look it up. I do not see it. Not one time. It's just I put some of these verses here. This isn't obviously exhaustive, but check out this here, Revelation 12:14. But the woman who was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness to her place where she is nourished for a time, times and a half a time, from the presence of the serpent. Interesting. Jump down to Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, O you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. Interesting, it says that the devil comes down to you having great wrath. See, that last 3.5 years of Daniel's 70th week is Satan's wrath. It's his final attempt to destroy the Jews and to destroy the elect, to destroy the Christians. And he will, as it says, that he will make war. I don't have that one right here right now, but he will make war against the saints. And it says, here is the patience of the saints, right? It says that in Revelation, I think 13. And here you go. Look at Revelation 12:6. Then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she was placed, where a place was prepared by God that they should feed her 1,260 days. In other words, the second half of the tribulation period. Revelation 11:3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, for they shall prophesy 1,203 score days. Right now, is this the first half or the latter half? I think it's the latter half. I know that's a matter of opinion. Some people think it's the first half, but I still think that first half is relatively completely silent. I don't think a lot's going on. I think it's when the Antichrist stands in the rebuilt temples when it gets crazy, and that's that marks the great tribulation, or tribulation, whatever you want to call it. Again, 11:12, but leave out the court when talking about the rebuilding of the temple, and do not measure it, for it has been given to the Gentiles, and they will tread the holy city underfoot for 42 months. Again, 3.5 years, right? Times and a half a time. That's 1 year. 1 year, 2 years, and then a half a year. So that's 3.5 years. Okay. And then you go down to this one. Where did it go? Here we got, I had another one in Revelation where it says that he would, let me look that one up real quick in my Bible, because I had another one. I thought I wrote that one down. It was a really good one. Speaking of the Antichrist, I think it's Revelation 13. Yeah, Revelation 13. Let's see here. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Do I have that one? Thought I had that one. Yeah, right here. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for what? For 42 months. You see what I'm saying? It's the last half of Daniel's 70th week. So regardless of how Christian movies have it, or anybody on YouTube, anybody who says the 7-year tribulation. Ask him, where is that in scripture? Ask him to show you one verse where it says 7-year tribulation. It never says it. It never does. And if I'm wrong, post it. So that's what I wanted to start off with. I want to start off with that Daniel's 70th week is not 7 years, which in turn will affect the study of the rapture. Okay. I'm at 10 minutes, so I'm going to shut this one off because this is just supposed to be about Daniel's 70th week. I'm going to make another one, and that one's going to be about the rapture. I'm going to continue on from here because I think I made it pretty clear. I'm trying to find this one other verse I had that was talking about that. Nope. Okay, those are the rapture ones I want to get into, and the timing of the rapture based on what I just said about Daniel's 70th week. So if you want to watch that one, I'll jump back on here in just a minute. All right.